What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Unspecified Podcast. I pressed the wrong button, and I'm so I'm so glad that you guys chose to come and visit for another crazy evening.
That's right, and we're starting off just in kind.
Yeah. And so just, buckle up and get ready for the wild ride that is Unspecified Podcast, where the topics are always unspecified,
Yes,
as the
that's
company.
right. As the time,
times.
we'll be on whenever, sometime between 12 o'clock and Friday,
We are definitely in unspecified times.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we've been trying to be slightly more consistent, okay? We do every other day now.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
Unless weekends are bonus.
If we happen to go live on a Sunday, then we're probably also going to go live Monday.
Right.
So it's just a bonus show. You know
right,
what I mean?
That's right. Weekends are just bonus.
Yeah.
Whether it's Saturday or Sunday or not at all.
Yeah, one way or another.
But
yeah, so thank you so much for showing up and hanging out. Dragon Slayer, what's up, dude? Dopey dude. Patty, what's up? Good evening.
Jason,
Brofist.
That's awesome. We're happy to have you. Patty, thank you. I love that we're on more often, too.
Well, look, check this out, okay, because we starting off, okay?
Crazy. Look, tonight's are interesting. To me, I'm like, wow. That's
this whole
a
show
lot.
is interesting. We have so many,
just weird.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I get excited about every show. I get nervous about every show, and I'm excited about this one.
Right.
I'm excited about a lot of them. This one's gonna be
right.
Look, would you eat bug? I guess that's bolognese, bolognese.
I'm saying it's bologna.
Okay.
Bologna. They just say bolognese instead.
Primary school children in Wales could be offered edible insects, including mealworms and crickets, as scientists urge the next generation to embrace eco-friendly meat substitutes.
Now,
just imagine the diseases from bugs gone bad and school lunch ladies that don't know what bad bugs look like. So school lunch lady might know what moldy bread looks like.
Right.
But school lunch lady doesn't know what bad bugs look like.
Okay,
Who
I get
does
it.
know
So,
what bad bugs? I mean, how many kids are going to get sick from bad bugs or something?
Right, I don't know. I would assume
Don't worry. Probably none, because no kids want to eat bugs anyway. I mean, there's a small few.
Look, this article was the most lenient wording that there was. The rest of them were like, no, kids are going to eat bugs in Wales potentially next year. So, whether it'll be more forced or not, I don't know. But I kind of want to read into it a little bit. Look, we can just read the highlighted points. Scientists hope to feed children food products made from insects. This feels like that Snowpiercer movie.
Snowpiercer, Solvent Green. What else does this remind me of? This reminds me of Elysium, but this isn't the only. This is just an article coming from Wales trying to be trendy, really, because you have all your celebrities doing videos about eating a 4-course meal of bugs, and then you have Kim Kardashian promoting her fake meat, and that's like, girl, don't nobody want to buy meat from you anyway.
That's right.
Girl, she don't know what good food. She don't even look like she knows what good food is.
And that's right. That's right. It's like, I don't know that you really know what really good food is. I feel like you get food teasers. Mojave says that's spaghetti meat sauce. Okay, thank you. Is that what bolognese is? I thought it was bologna, but it might be spaghetti meat sauce. Let's see here. Only if it's optional with an alternative. I know. I just don't like the direction overall. Because it's just, anyway, we'll just keep reading the points.
If they want to make efficient protein conversion palatable, they would focus on shrimp farms, which would blow up in popularity because everybody loves shrimp.
That's right, except for the people allergic to shellfish. That's right. Except for them. But yes, everybody else. The military admitted what? Us?
Admitted what?
Us versus us? Military admitted it. Oh, so food, if there's food crises, we'll turn on each other that way. Is that what you're talking about, V?
I'm a lunch lady, and I would not serve without kids having knowledge of what it is. Probably wouldn't go well. I don't think it would. I don't think it would. And I didn't mean to say that you wouldn't know what bad bugs look like, but what if the bugs go bad? How do you know what a bad batch of bugs?
Right. I assume that there would be some sort of process or cleaning, or you know what I mean, but it's just it brings up a good question, okay, well, if we have all these viruses that can come from monkeys and stuff like that, well, are there any illnesses or diseases that could come from insects? I'm sure that's a stretch, right? Because obviously there's a lot of other countries that already eat bugs. You know what I mean? And we're not, but just because I don't know about a disease doesn't mean it's not out there.
That's right. Dragon Slayer says, this is a good point. Wonder if shellfish allergies would translate into insect allergies.
That's right.
I'm insect intolerant. Is there insects in this food? I need to know,
Does this have an exoskeleton? I can't have exoskeleton.
Angry Wreck-It Ralph, what's up, dude? Cinnamon One, JG.
Okay, I want to read these points. Scientists hope to feed children food products made from insects. Okay. This could include bug protein bolognese, edible crickets, and mealworms. I give mealworms to my chickens. They hope to gauge their opinion on environmental issues surrounding food. The Cardiff University and UWE teams will survey kids, parents, and teachers. The project aims to educate families on nutritional benefits of edible insects. Okay, but then, like, where's the eco-friendly part, you know?
All of this programming makes me watch survival shows in a different way.
All of this programming makes me think that maybe cow farts don't even affect the atmosphere.
Well, just wait. Justin Trudeau is going to teach us all about it in a little bit.
They were just trying to get me not to like the beef.
Researchers are planning to feed bugs like house crickets and mealworms to children between the ages of 5 and 11 from 4 primary schools in Wales. Parents, y'all need to be asking what's in the
over
food 11 at the school.
Is going to throw it right back in their face. Like, no thank you.
Right. They are also planning to serve up bolognese made from... Oh, are they going to give it some fancy name?
There it is
bolognese?
down there. Look at it. Okay, I gotta open my mind is the problem. I just gotta open my mind.
Bon appetit, kids. You know?
So if you crush it up like that... Oh, that's not crushed up enough. Oh, well, that's not bad because I do that with the chickens, but I do find myself thinking about it a lot. I'm like,
I'm sorry, guys. It's just not for me. And you know, being of the party of the folks that just want to be left alone, you know what I mean? Can you just really stay back on this one? You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys are already pushing it with the whole, like, you're making me think you're going to start banning my favorite foods here soon. You know what I mean?
Right, that's right.
I'm already kind of thinking they're poisoning a lot of the dead guys. I mean, not poisoning, but they're doing something that does something to the food that makes it harder to digest.
All these medicines and foods that can change your DNA, like the candies and stuff. Perhaps they change DNA in such a way that you can't tolerate things like lactose or what is that, celiac disease, where like people who eat bread like get real crazy gassy. I don't know the exacts of it. There's more to it than that.
Celiac.
Yeah, it's like celiac. But anyway, I'm just saying if these candies contain these compounds that are known to change your genetic exactly, then who's to say that it can't change what you are and are not tolerant to?
Hey, that's right. Patty says maybe with some Slap Your Mama seasoning. I could almost eat anything with Slap Your Mama.
Because I remember as a kid, gluten wasn't even a thing that I knew about.
Right. No, I mean, people been eating bread for a millennia, but all of a sudden now everybody's getting an allergy to gluten.
If somebody said I was allergic to gluten, I'd
How
be
about
like,
this?
yeah, no, don't eat glue. No, don't eat it.
Folks have been eating and making bread for 1,000 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
And not too long after did we figure out how to cut the bread and adulterate it with other stuff.
That's right.
Okay, to make it fluffier or whiter or whatever. And so I'm going to guess instead of an allergen popping up out of nowhere, I'm going to say it's an adulteration that's popped up out of nowhere. Specific little subtle allergens or subtle little things that they do to the food supply to push us further away from different things to make us look at different things as options.
Right.
Okay. There's definitely, we know there's agendas and there's definitely operations going on, psyops, whatever you want to call it. So why wouldn't there be one at the grocery store?
Are we gonna watch this?
Well, yeah. It says slaughter-free steaks. Food tech company cultivates lab-grown beef.
Oh.
No audio.
No audio.
Apparently.
Oy vey.
Yeah, this is more like a food channel thing.
Yeah.
All of these vegetables are made from bugs.
Hey, he's doing good up until this point, and you lost
Yeah,
me.
and look, the dog food shows up.
Bacon.
Is that supposed to be
Or
fancy?
It's buckin, like bugkin, bacon,
Bugkin.
bugs. Here, this is a cockroach. Ooh, and beets. Maybe that's a radish. I don't really know.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Not for me. Let's see. Crohn's and gluten intolerance. I can't believe they are experimenting on the U.S. Navy. That's right. You said the Navy is feeding bugs, which is, guys, I mean, especially for the Navy chaps, man, you got to look around. What do they think of you if they're feeding you bugs?
Right.
I mean, I know it's trendy, but come on, you can't. Haven't we realized that trends aren't all positive?
Right. They
Or
eat
no.
bread in Bible times. That's right. That's right.
Don't worry, Landon. There was an article that the World Economic Forum put out years ago describing the life of a person in their post-Great Reset utopia, saying they are scared of those of us taking no part in it. Ha, okay.
Right.
So we're the problem. I see.
Anyway.
UN chief says extreme heat will ultimately threaten humanity. No nation immune.
Threaten humanity? Okay, so all these heat waves. Look, I hate to keep referencing movies because it makes me feel a little, I don't know,
Yeah, if you
devalidated.
If you pay attention to the articles in the media, it really seems like we're going through the beginning stages of the day after tomorrow.
Right. Or Geostorm.
Or Geostorm or whatever.
I don't know. It just...
Humanity faces collective suicide over climate crisis, warns UN chief.
Wasn't that kind of the same thing?
Kind of the same. It's the same.
Just different wording?
It's the same thing.
Okay, like, I know, he was like, boss was like, hey, I need a catchy title. And he's like, well, we're kind of committing suicide because we're doing it to ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those gotta walk you through it titles.
Yeah.
But, it was different than the other titles. So, that's what we've got.
Now, this is interesting. There's a lot of articles about vultures, and they say it right here. I was going to tell you about what they're synonymous with, but they say it right here. The birds are synonymous with death and gluttony, but their plummeting numbers could spell serious trouble for humans. And it's like, well, what the heck does that have to do with anything? A catastrophic decline of vulture populations in Africa and Asia is causing alarm among researchers who fear that a cascade effect could lead to the spread of deadly, old, and new diseases, including plague, anthrax, and rabies.
Right.
So if you wanted to know how we get to World War Z or Dawn of the Dead or the zombie movies, I'm just kidding.
I'm so sorry. JD says, I'm having fettuccine Alfredo while watching this. I have not struggled with jealousy as much as I am right this second.
I totally relate. Relate.
Goodness.
Golf and Guns, brother. What's up?
Anyway.
Joe, what's up, dude? Mojave, what's up? Ah, man.
When they're eating at Taco Bell.
What do you guys think? For thousands of years, the birds have been synonymous with death and gluttony. Where the corpse is, vultures will gather. Jesus is quoted as saying in Matthew 24. But in reality, the birds... Wow. See, they're like, but in reality... Okay, that's not absolutely...
Right.
Wow. Okay. The birds serve us in ways that we are only just beginning to understand, helping to keep ecosystems and pathogens in check. If the lion is the king of the savannah, the vulture is the hard-working, unsung groundkeeper. A flock of vultures can wipe a dead antelope clean in about 20 minutes. Dude, I'd love someone to time that. I don't think that... I'm sorry.
I'm just going to sit here and...
Stopping the carcass from turning into a toxic soup, leaking into water sources, maggots, and bacteria are the only things more effective at disposing of dead meat. The bird's digestive system are thought to be tough enough to stop bacterial colonies of the plague, anthrax, and botulism in their tracks. Some researchers believe vultures indirectly keep rabies infections in check by depriving rats and feral dogs of bountiful food. Certain species may even help disinfect the ground near carcasses with their highly acidic excrement. Highly acidic excrement. Okay, so we see less vultures, we could see more plague.
Oh, well, okay.
I think.
Okay,
signs of the times, and it's researchers saying it. I'm just bringing it to you.
Doesn't monkeypox look a little bit like the plague?
You know, I don't know exactly, but you know that whole monkeypox thing. I was reading earlier. They're like, man, it's worse than the Wuhan wiggle. It's
well, of course, yeah. I suppose if you're gonna get big blisters and sores.
Independent
Biblically, you might call that boils, but I'm sure there's a difference, right?
What's up, Independent? Good to see you.
What's up, Indy?
Okay. Offices install nap boxes so workers can sleep standing up during shift.
I like how they rounded it, so it's like, no. This is not a coffin. This is a nap box.
The Itoki nap boxes are designed for staff to nap standing up while working long hours at offices in Japan, supporting their head, rear, and knees so they don't fall over. So you kind of just like get in there and sit in it.
Yeah, I could see that. I'd do it.
Standing up.
I'd do it.
Okay.
And hey, people with like acid reflux or acid reflux mainly, that would be very helpful for indigestion.
The bizarre sleep stations are aimed at white-collar employees who are known for logging excruciatingly long hours, resembling a sleek water heater. The device supports workers' heads, knees, and rears so that they will not fall over.
Yeah, that's all I need. I would this would be me. I could totally take a nap in their coffin.
In Japan, there are a lot of people who will lock themselves up in the bathroom for a while, which I don't think is healthy, they told Bloomberg. It's better to sleep in a comfortable location. Sleepiness on the job is so widespread that the country has the phrase inimuri, which refers to those who sleep during the day in order to get through a long commute or full workday. Japan has some of the longest working hours in the world.
Wow.
There it is.
There it is. See that little shelf? That's your butt shelf.
That propane tank, and you go in there if you need to text or take a break, and we'll see you when you get done. You got about 30 minutes.
It does seem a little vulnerable, like for pranking, perhaps, if somebody wanted to, mess with it. But yeah, and it's kind of like, I'll say it, it's sleek.
Enjoy dinner, man.
If that had shelves in it, I'd use it as a bookshelf. I dig it.
Are you ready for this one?
Ready.
All right. First dormant black hole discovered outside Milky Way, like finding needle in a haystack.
Okay.
An enormous black hole outside the Milky Way is the first to be discovered sitting dormant. So, what does that mean? Well, we'll get to that. That's the latest in a report at Space Chatter. Hey there, I'm Jeff Allen. Please like and subscribe to get all of the latest breaking space stuff directly to you. Black holes are dormant if they do not emit high levels of X-ray radiation, which is how they are typically detected. They're hard to spot because they're not devouring gas or other matter. This one just has been detected about 160,000 light years from Earth. The dormant black hole lies in the Large Magellanic Cloud, a satellite galaxy that neighbors the Milky Way and orbits a hot blue star that's almost 3 times as big. This is an artist's impression of what the binary system VFTS 243 might look like if we were observing it up close. The system is located in the Tarantula Nebula. Astronomers liken the discovery.
Okay, well, not to completely
in the
throw him off.
galaxy.
I'm sure this has nothing to do with the Large Hadron Collider. I mean,
That's right.
that just cranked up. Now we have articles about
This
a
black hole
dormant
next
black
door.
hole. Don't worry, guys, it's dormant. And we know that kind of stuff because we know so much.
Okay, so isn't a dormant black hole just black?
It's just dormant.
I don't understand. Isn't it just black then? Because it's not doing anything.
I guess a dormant black hole, at least 9 times the mass of our sun, has been dedicated just 160,000 light years from Earth. Okay, so not really our problem. Not really in our neighborhood. We don't even really.
Not yet. What if it wakes up? How fast do black holes eat?
Maybe
I
stop
don't
playing
know.
with CERN and we'll stop having black hole problems.
Umbrella Academy, that escalated very quickly. That's all I got to go off of.
Man. Dormant black holes are particularly hard to spot since they do not interact with their surroundings.
Yeah, so they're just black. They're just blackness.
Look
you
at
know
it.
what I mean?
Somewhere out there.
Wow. So they know, but I'm gonna tell them through you.
Oh.
I painted Wyatt's room in Star Galaxy one time. It gave me double pneumonia because I was spray painting in the house.
In an unventilated area.
Yeah, that's right. I was young and dumb. I didn't know. The kids weren't in there or nothing, but I was being all artsy fartsy. It looked great. I survived, and all's well. We don't live there anymore, though.
Right. Anyway, black holes in the news. Black holes in the news. The long, strange relationship between psychedelics and telepathy. Now, if the show is seeming boring at this point, just wait, because here in just a few more segments, it's just going to start to spice right up.
That's right.
Okay? The long, strange relationship between psychedelics and telepathy. It's almost impossible to tell the story of psychedelics without telepathy, man. Okay? You see this picture?
All I'm thinking is men who stare at goats.
Let's see. Listen to how they talk up. In February of 1971, approximately 2,000 attendees at 6 Grateful Dead concerts at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester, New York, saw this message projected on a large screen at 11:30 p.m. You are about to participate in an ESP experiment. Okay? It was a test to see if people could use extrasensory perception, or ESP, to telepathically transmit randomly chosen images to 2 psychic sensitive people, Malcolm Besant and Felicia Perez, who were sleeping 45 miles away from the concert. Anyway, Besant was at the, can you say, Maimonides Dream Laboratory in Brooklyn, while Paris slept in her apartment. Art prints selected at random were projected at the Dead Show, like the Castle of the Pyrenees and Philosophy in the Boudoir, okay, by Rene Magritte, or a visual representation of spinal chakras. Besant and Perez described their dreams to 2 evaluators, and an art therapy student and a divinity student. Hold up. They teaching divinity where? You ain't supposed to be messing with that. Let's look in. Oh, come on. Get rid of that. Let's just. The state or quality of being divine. The Godhead, God, used with a deity, such as a god or goddess. Whoa, where do they study that at? Student who then judged them based on their similarities to the images shown at the concert. The Grateful Dead were chosen because the members of the band agreed to facilitate such an experiment. So, that immediately makes me think Astroworld. What are they studying? Yeah. What are they studying? I mean, if you watch any Astroworld or and that's just talking about Travis Scott's concerts, what are they studying?
Right.
How easy is it? What tones does it take to promote chaos?
Listen, the Grateful Dead were chosen because the members of the band agreed to facilitate such an experiment, but also because those who conducted the study had determined that the audience would be especially primed for telepathic abilities, in part because of the state of mind they assumed the audience would be in. In a paper, so think about Travis Scott's music, yeah.
In a paper summary, I mean, what, y'all think that they only did this one time? Right, it's the only time anyone ever experimented at concerts? The Grateful Dead are the only ones?
That's
no,
right.
Absolutely not. In a paper summarizing the project, the authors wrote, it was apparent to observers at the concert that the majority of the people in the audience were in states of consciousness that had been dramatically altered. These altered states of consciousness were brought about by the music, by the ingestion of psychedelic drugs before the concert started, and by contact with other members of the audience. This is just one example of many of the historical overlap between psychical? Sorry, it's a new word for me. And paranormal research and psychedelics. Some of the most storied names from the early psychedelic research period were also investigating ESP, telepathy, and precognition. I mean, guys, this is all base level MK Ultra stuff. I'm just saying, all right, we're going to have to go conspiracy real quick. It's not conspiracy. They're doing this kind of testing and they're telling you about it now. They did this at a Grateful Dead concert back in the 70s, but also think about like Stranger Things. What is the main character known for? Telepathy. Like,
oh, look, they talk about MK Ultra programs.
Holy
further
crap.
down.
Okay, hold on. Telepathy and precognition. Their interest in psychedelics was tangential, I can't read, but directly related, as was the case in the Grateful Dead experiment. Many thought that psychedelics could induce these experiences or bring about states where they were more likely to occur. Of course, the CIA's MK Ultra program from 1953 to 1964, you really think it ended in 64, also pursued mind-controlling abilities of psychedelics. A psychiatrist, Donald Ewan Cameron, used LSD to do psychic driving experiments on people at McGill University's Allen Memorial Institute. Today, people continue to regularly report having an anomalous or paranormal experiences while on psychedelics. David Luke, a psychologist at Greenwich University, has looked at surveys of those who use psychedelics, finding that the percentage of them who said they experienced PSI phenomena ranges from 18 to 83% of people depending on the group. Telepathy was the most common, but precognition, or having knowledge of an event before it happens, was also widely reported. Okay.
Hey, can I sidebar real quick? So, JG's saying closest portal is north of Washington and NC, Canada. What portal is that?
Dormant black hole is actually a porthole.
Ah, gotcha. Portals are in so many young kid shows. And oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right,
absolutely.
super, like, portals and all that. Stargate, and...
It sends you to Western times. Crazy. JG, pray tell. Say more if you got more.
It sends you to Western times. Well, I'll go hop
That's
in.
Westworld, is all get out. They're spilling the beans. That's right.
Independent Mini. United. Search British Columbia Triangle. It's a 6-part series. Part 5 explains the travel back. What?
Well, there's that one. What is it? The Manhattan Project or whatever?
I think you're thinking of Montauk.
Yeah, that's it.
Montauk. Project Operation.
Yeah. Anyway.
On a larger scale, there is ongoing research into whether psychedelics do produce consistent shifts in beliefs and how that might happen. Does it stem from the context in which people take psychedelics and external influences, or is there something about the compounds themselves that leads people to step away from a materialist worldview in which telepathy doesn't occur, to endorse a reality where transmitting thoughts, feelings, and images to another mind is possible?
See, I personally think that, like, these psychedelics are, I don't know, I think there's a veil between dimensions, if you will. I don't know. And I think that these
There's
psychedelics...
veils, there's in-betweens.
Right. I think these psychedelics are...
Thin that veil.
Thinning that veil. Because, like, I don't remember where, but I've heard of somebody who had a really bad experience.
Large.
And, like, they saw, like, a demon, and they were never the same again. And so it just, I don't know. And I don't take that lightly. I very much believe it when I hear that. So.
Eli, that's a good point. The largest show on Netflix is about MK Ultra.
That's right.
Large scale MK Ultra.
Yep.
As psychedelics become more mainstream, we are opening up to breadth of the population who are getting access to them, Luke said. Once you take the cork out of the genie's bottle, we cannot ignore these kinds of experiences.
That's right.
So I'll stop there, okay? But it's a really good article. It's on Vice. Anyone can go read it if you want to read into it more. Moving on. How the Brazilian butt lift became one of the deadliest cosmetic surgeries.
Yeah. That's your booty. That's
Okay.
where you do your number 2s. That's dirty spots.
A few days after undergoing cosmetic surgery, Chelsea was in Philadelphia emergency room with what looked like a 3rd-degree burn. The skin around her thighs had turned black, hardened, and blistered. The burning sensation was so intense she was struggling to breathe. Chelsea, 29, had undergone an increasingly popular cosmetic procedure called a Brazilian butt lift, where fat is liposuctioned from one part of the body, usually the abdomen or thighs, and then injected into the buttocks in hopes of giving the patient an hourglass figure. I was hoping to do a mommy makeover, and it turned into a complete nightmare, said Chelsea. Poor Chelsea, who did not want to use her last name for fear of hunting her career prospects. Hurting. Before the surgery, she was studying to become a nurse. These days, she can't sit without experiencing a burning sensation. Me too, girl. I ain't had the procedure, but I get the same problem. The Brazilian butt lift is among the most dangerous aesthetic procedures. In 2017, it had the highest death rate of any cosmetic surgery in the U.S. According to a group of leading clinical plastic surgery societies, patients have been left paralyzed as a result of the surgery or experienced long-term pain due to nerve damage. A task force that looked into the high death rate with Brazilian butt lifts found that about 3% of surgeons had experienced a patient death after the procedure.
Well, there you go. Don't worry about it. Your butt is big enough, okay?
Yeah.
God gave you all the padding you need. So maybe if you don't have a big butt, maybe it's because God knew you were going to be better mannered and you didn't need all that padding because you weren't going to get as many whoopings.
The card assassin effect, if you will.
Yeah.
That's a great one, Moha.
Mm-hmm. I was just reading about them.
All right. From Brazilian butt lifts to brain-computer interface implants, okay? I'm not kidding.
That's right.
All right.
Like, Newsbreak is all like, ooh, Elon, you've got a competitor.
You got a competition.
That's right.
Someone beat you to the brain chips, man. Brain-computer interface startup implants first device in U.S. patient? Patient, yes, not patent. Okay. Now, this name, Synchrones, say it however you want. Golly.
Synchron's procedure will help ALS patient text by thinking in a major step forward in a nascent industry.
A nascent industry, with the Brooklyn-based company recently overtaking Elon Musk's Neuralink.
Okay, so here's my first thing. A lot of people didn't even know what ALS was until that ice bucket challenge a few years back. So then isn't it interesting that went around because now, I don't know. Like they're Trojan horsing brain chips under the guise
y'all not
of
about
ALS
to act like
health.
Everybody didn't see that homeless man either in that movie or that show or really in real life. The one that's like, they're wanting to put brain implants, man. They want to put something in your brain, man.
Yeah, that's been every crazy homeless person from the 70s until now, but they weren't crazy.
They weren't crazy, man. They just knew too much.
They probably escaped.
They just knew that's right.
Escape.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I digress.
On July 6th, a doctor at the Mount Sinai West Medical Center in New York threaded a 1.5-inch long implant made up of wires and electrodes into a blood vessel in the brain of a patient with ALS. Okay? And just like in RoboCop, okay, or any other dystopic movie, they always do these body modifications to benefit,
But that's what I'm saying. They're Trojan horsing brain chips under the guise of helping ALS, which ALS became popular a few years back. Before that, it didn't have all that much, you know what I mean? Did you know what ALS was before we were dumping ice and water on each other and nominating?
No.
And so then, and I'm not saying that I'm against the progression. That's great. But I will say, I was under the impression that ALS, people who suffer from ALS, like it's fatal, it's terminal.
Yeah.
And so kind of they're left with the thought of, well, you have nothing to lose because basically we can put this chip in and you can have a hope of communicating with people until you pass. Or you just go, and you don't get to communicate with people and, until you pass. So I don't know. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's funny you say that.
Why?
Because the next one. After death, you're aware that you've died, say scientists. Mojave said right in the forehead, that dog stray brofist dude. 2 family members died from ALS. I'm sorry to hear that. I know someone now with ALS, though I didn't know what it was back in the day. Independent Mini says they were crazy conspiracy theorists landed. They were.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to call them that as like derogatory. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I mean, if you want to get right down to it.
Right, I know. It's more of the sense of like, oh yeah, remember when they were the crazy, now they're just like, oh, remember that.
I know,
that
but
news
don't act
channel.
like y'all weren't like, oh, this crazy person.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? You know?
I remember us going to family events and you being like, how do I talk to everybody? They're not going to want to hear about this, and this, you know?
I know, man. And that just got progressively worse. And everybody knows that, man.
Now, now those same family members are like reading survival books and stuff.
That's right.
And
That's right.
So it's a blessing, but,
That's right, Golf and Guns. That's right. Because, just like they want to sell us the... the little hand chip thing so that you don't have to carry your stupid plastic card around, right? Like, that's so inconvenient. It'll free you. It'll be a convenience. That's how they have to sell this stuff to you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because it's I think the whole way this works is if you willingly accept. Don't let them in your head, man. Because if they keep making this place a technocratic dystopia, okay, not a utopia.
Right.
All right. A tyrannical... authoritarian, technocratic dystopia, your head is the last place you're going to have private.
That's right.
Basically, I mean, there's so many microphones and cameras already, guys. I mean, even out in the countryside.
That's right.
That, with the TVs listening, you got your Amazon Alexa, Siri, and that's not even to mention...
well, and if you think about it, too, so, like, if you believe that the enemy cannot read your thoughts... You know what I mean? What does that do? What does that, if you invite them in, what happens with a vampire? You have to invite them in, right?
That's right. That's how it works.
So if you believe that the enemy cannot read your thoughts, only God has access to your thoughts, well, then if you put a chip in there, I don't know. Anyway, just interesting. Hold on. Indy says they use those medically fragile and with disabilities as guinea pigs in the military. Yeah.
Hold up. Joe just said, we'll need the chips to eat the bugs, which will trick us into thinking it tastes like bacon.
That's right.
Whoa, dude.
My point with this was that, like, okay, if you use a terminally ill patient, to Indy's point as well, if you use someone who's medically fragile for these procedures and then they pass away, you could just say that, oh, well, they passed away because of this medical condition, when really it could have been, something reacting with this chip that caused a premature...
So like an opposite of what they were doing with the Wuhan Wiggle. Yeah. So someone dies in a motorcycle accident and they call it COVID.
That's right.
But it'll be the other way around. So really, your brain implant tripped you. But anyway, we're moving on. So after death, you're aware. That's what this article says.
That you've died, yeah. Okay, so...
People who have had near-death experiences talk about floating around the room and being aware of the medical team working on their body. I heard a story as well, before I read this article, of a dude who owns venomous snakes in Florida. And he got hit by one of his cobras in the arm. And his arm began to swell like most extremities do when they get bit by a venomous snake. And so it didn't kill him. It put him into a deep coma. Right. And he was out of his body and witnessed his mom sitting next to him, pleading with the doctors because of the way that they treat this swelling, which is in his forearm, is they use this screw that screws up your bone through the middle of your arm.
And it'll relieve the swelling. But
it relieves the swelling, but you have almost no use of your arm left after that.
That arm is done.
And he was out of his body witnessing his mom arguing and trying to plead with the doctors to not do this procedure, to protect his handling abilities and his arm and whatnot. That I think he even said his mom was praying that the swelling would go down,
right.
And that anywho, so
yeah. Well, I've always, ever since I was little, because like I don't know why, I was always fascinated by King Henry VIII. So anyway, I have always wondered, like when people were getting beheaded.
Yeah.
So many of his wives were beheaded. When people were getting beheaded, they say it's quick and painless, but I'm like, I bet there's a couple seconds there that you're looking, like you can't do anything about it. You can't communicate with anybody to say, hey, I'm here.
Many people thought that. I mean, haven't y'all thought that before in the past? Well, now you have an article.
Well, okay, so the article, basically, I read through, the article says that basically for anywhere from 2 to 20 seconds, which 20 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, but 2 is an instant.
I don't know. Not if you're sitting there with no head.
2 seconds of pain is pretty bad.
And I don't know that it would even be pain. Who could know? But I have always wondered.
My motorcycle accident, when I got hit by a truck and was rolling around and all throughout the accident, was like, like the instances that I was aware of it,
right?
They did seem like a long time, but then again, it seemed like
an instant.
It just happened
in a flash.
But really, my motorcycle was like 100 yards away, and like I had been drugged with the truck.
Isn't that crazy? Time is both fast and slow at the same time.
I don't know.
Yeah, Spyra says, "Does anyone really own a Cobra?"
That's the truth.
Really
That's the truth.
Cobra?
Go watch. What's this kid's name that we watched? Our son loves this kid's Chandler's Wildlife.
That's right.
I'm not saying you got to stick around for a long time. And an even more interesting reason why you would want to go check it out. The dude owns crocodiles, and one of them bit him. So go watch Chandler's Wildlife if you want to see a dude get bit by a crocodile. But he owns cobras, and I think the same thing, because this thing's head is like the size bigger than my fist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like wide.
Yeah. Well,
and it has a face, and it looks like it's thinking.
I've never saw personality on a snake before I saw that king snake, Kevin. Like he really, you can
It's a cobra,
see
not a king.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it is a king cobra. Sorry.
But you can see personality on that snake's face. I don't care for them. I'm telling you, but you can see personality. Anyway, so back to this one more thing. This is one more niche closer to scientists saying there's an afterlife, right?
Something like that.
I know. Okay, so technically that's a stretch. They're really just saying that you're aware for 2 to 20 seconds, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna pray about that because I don't like that. That's upsetting.
Comic-Con requiring attendees to show health pass. Wear masks at all times.
That's not going to be a problem.
Right, they already wear. They all wear masks anyway. Security staff will support adherence to the policy. So, not that this is a thing for everybody, but this whole Comic-Con, the organizers of this week's San Diego Comic-Con are requiring all attendee groups, including but not limited to exhibitors, guests, staff, press, professionals, volunteers, and cosplayers, to wear an approved face covering regardless of vaccination status. In case there any doubt in year 3 of the pandemic, oh my gosh, what an approved face covering looks like, the organizers add the following. Face coverings should completely cover the nose and mouth, fit snugly against the sides of the face, and not have any gaps. All attendees are required to provide verification that they are fully waxed. Okay, 2 shots or provide proof of a negative test taken within 72 hours. As part of that, attendees must download a health pass that will be used to quickly verify testing and or wax status. All those who so verify will be given a wristband which will allow entry to the convention center. But I've heard, I don't know how to talk about this, but look, apparently things get a little freaky at Comic-Con, like at the parties and stuff.
After party orgies.
So, like, I have a feeling this is going to enter their new zeitgeist where they're like, because, anyway, they're like, I got the health pass, you know what I'm saying? I got the, I'm clean to be here, you know what I mean?
Does that include monkeypox?
It's just promoting, it seems technocratic, and it also seems like, I don't know. It just seems weird, Does anyone else get what I'm talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a part of their culture now. It's like you can't kick me out, man. I have my health pass. I don't know. I don't know.
Crazy. Gone are the days.
Move thousands of homeless people into landmark LA Sears building. Some say no way. So there's an idea. Okay.
I think that sounds like Peachtree Towers.
Right, from Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds like the first
remake.
tower. Sears Tower is going to be the first.
She's talking about the pack 'em and stack 'em mega cities of the dystopic future Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah, where it's like a ghetto, but it's like a giant tower ghetto.
Bill Teoremina. I'm so sorry. Teoremina.
Oh, that was beautiful. I don't
had
know if it's
17
right,
minutes to convince the crowd in the auditorium of Boyle Heights Resurrection High School to back his plan to turn their shuttered neighborhood, Sears, into a giant homeless service hub. The Los Angeles Life Rebuilding Center that Teoremina, I can't do that, wants to build would house up to 10,000 homeless people and provide medical and mental health services, job training, immigration, help, and drug abuse diversion programs, which sounds all great.
Right.
But it does sound like pack 'em and stack 'em.
It does sound like pack 'em and stack 'em. It does sound like a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, that would be, it would be great for home. But here's the problem, okay? So as homeless begin to increase, you're going to see more and more people. So you've got this number of people that are in houses right now and this number of people that are in apartments, and you're going to see, this number go down and this number go up.
That's right.
And so then everybody's going to be in these, ghetto, and then it really will be Judge Dredd scenario.
The project would be dedicated to saving lives, guys, vowing not to build anything like a prison, okay, on the landmark lot, okay? No, so this isn't a homeless prison,
right?
Okay, where they might have some doctor at the top that does experiments on his least favorite people. I'm just speculating that that's impossible, that they're far above this.
No Sears Detention Center, and respect our community. Dozens of speakers.
No matter how much that doctor's donors pay,
right?
Okay, they're above corruption. Anyway, but in Boyle Heights, he was greeted with a sea of homemade poster board signs saying "No Sears Detention Center" and "Respect our community." Dozens of speakers criticized his plan at the meeting June 27th, calling it a crime against humanity, irresponsible, and a threat to the area's children. Shouts of "Take that to Beverly Hills" were volleyed about. The project felt to many attendees like a pie-in-the-sky approach to a problem that keeps growing exponentially. But the opposition on display at the meeting was about more than practicality. It reflected the frustration of Boyle Heights residents who feel their community has been persistently shortchanged. Now an outsider was telling them that the landmark Sears building, once the pride of the community, would house not hundreds but thousands of homeless people.
That's right.
It was like a whole bunch of things were said, but nothing made sense. Lifelong Boyle Heights resident Jasmine Floors, 21, said after the meeting, it seemed very much an unrealistic dream that we were being sold, while real solutions, things that could help people from Boyle Heights, weren't considered. Some felt aggravated that their community, already reeling from the Wuhan wheel deaths and environmental pollution, was now supposed to fix Los Angeles' massive homelessness crisis.
Right. Interesting.
Let's see. Unspecified to be not spam, not profanity, but truth. The truth, yes. New York City odor complaints hit all-time high.
Well, the summer heat tends to stir up the city's stinkier side, and this year it seems the Big Apple smells more rotten than ever. Odor complaints into the 311 hotline are reportedly at an all-time high. So why do so many New Yorkers think the streets reek? We sent our Jennifer Williams for answers.
It stinks. It does, We are the best city, but at the same time, we are the dirtiest.
Folks see our investment in
We the dirtiest, but we the best. Okay, it don't gotta smell good to be the best. We live up top at the
above
top.
the smell. You just gotta get up high there. That's all.
Well, no, really, the smell goes up there, but the wind blows it away.
Let it play. I want to hear what his swagger mayor says.
In sanitation, the city has to be clean. And I'm seeing the city getting cleaner and cleaner.
That was how Eric Adams answered a question about a report that odor complaints are up in the city.
The number one thing I smell right now is pot. It's like everybody is smoking a joint now,
I definitely smell a lot more pot. No, that's a bad smell.
Smellier, I would say it smells like, the devil's lettuce, per se.
Adams says that if the report revealed anything, it's that car idling is the issue.
Maybe I have a New York nose that, I'm not smelling, filth.
The New York Post analyzed 311 calls and found that odor complaints are at an all-time high, rising 54%, well over 5,700 calls this year compared to the same span in 2021.
It's always smelled bad.
New York City has always stunk because it's such a big city. There's a lot of air pollution.
I think the subway definitely smells worse than it used to.
And some blocks are apparently more pungent than others.
They're giggling.
The toilet.
The smell is
Because everybody knows it's pot. They're like, I don't want my mom to know.
isn't the only thing about the city capturing people's attention. This week, Time Out released a poll which ranked NYC as the world's second dirtiest city, behind only Rome.
It always smells here, you know? It's part of the charm.
On the Upper East Side,
No, that's not charm. That's decay.
Hey, y'all, New York, it stinks. We already knew that.
That's
but
right.
now it stinks.
We're the Nutri-sized rats, not a telltale sign that, hey, there's trash here.
Yeah, the raccoon-sized rats.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. As violent crime in Chicago soared, arrests fell to historic lows. Chicago police have made arrests in fewer and fewer crimes in recent years. The decline mirrors a drop in nearly every category of officers actively tracked by the Chicago Police Department.
Yeah, there's too much violence, so violence is taking over Chicago. This does not mean just lower arrests. Oh, is that what they're going for? Because like we have made less arrests this year than in the past 10 years. But what they're not saying is that like it's just because we're out of fuel and the budget's gone.
LaTanya Gordon thinks she knows who killed her sons. Her eldest 20-year-old Tyler Ty Malden was shot in the head and an arm on April 6, 2020, targeted in a drive-by attack in an alley in the 10,000 block of South Torrance Avenue. As rumors drifted through the neighborhood, Gordon says a young man began bragging on Facebook that he did the murder. Her other son, 15-year-old Terrence Munchie Malden, joined a chorus of neighbors who spoke out about the man's claims. Months later, that July 10th, Terrence was killed, struck in the back in a drive-by shooting in an alley in the 9800 block of South Hoxie Avenue, blocks from where his brother was slain. I mean, it's a sad story.
It is.
But it's just a brief glimpse, look into Chicago, Gordon thinks the person who claimed responsibility for Tyler's killing had a hand in Terrence's death. Two, she says the man has been harassing the family, stealing a poster from Gordon's front yard memorializing her sons, then posting a photo to Instagram showing him aiming at it with a handgun equipped with an extended magazine. Gordon says it's frustrating to the utmost that Chicago police detectives haven't been able to make a case. Updates from detectives have been infrequent, she says, and it's difficult to get them on the phone. So
That's
prayers for this
important,
mother
yeah.
who has lost both of her sons to this horrible violence in Chicago.
And then to have somebody posting a picture aiming a gun at them, like
Not
they're
only
already dead.
did the murderer brag on Facebook that he did it, but then he goes to the folks' yard after after someone else kills the other son, and then takes the poster, and then I mean, come on,
posting a picture aiming at it. That's just what.
Look up recidivism. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. Uncle Ted knows what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Recidivism.
Yep. Repeatedly.
Right.
Yep.
Releasing violent folks. All right. Y'all check this out. We switch gears to Hawaii real quick. Come on. You video.
Hurricane Darby. Sorry, Darby. Wow.
Colossal waves crash over two-story condo in Hawaii as Hurricane Darby remnants pass.
Okay, guys, let's go. Here now.
It's flooding everywhere. It's flooding. Okay, guys, let's go. Here now. It's flooding everywhere.
I'm sure the video doesn't do it justice, man.
Right.
But if you were there,
Right.
you would be like, all right, we need to get back. All right.
See, I'm the type of person that, like, I feel like if I ever went to Yellowstone, that's when the volcano would go off. I went to California once, but I feel like if I ever go back, that's when, you know, the big one would happen. So I'm the type that I'm like, I can't go to Hawaii because
That's when the island would be erased.
Yeah, it would sink. Or, I don't know, something would happen. It would be bad.
No notification. Well, it's good to see you, Kelly. What's up? Who let the bulls out? What's up? Good to see you.
What's
Thank
up,
you.
Kelly? That's a big wave. Yeah.
Recidivism, y'all. Okay. Things are getting real in Hawaii. New Hawaii Park sign. Discourage feeding feral chickens, but there's a much larger problem going on. You want to read?
Yes. Earlier this month, more than a dozen signs were installed across 5 parks on the Hawaiian island of Oahu to discourage residents from feeding feral chickens. But they're increasing pervasiveness much more than just feeding the chickens. The island faces a significant problem with the birds. Across Oahu, feral chickens have infiltrated the lives of residents, from creating safety hazards to gathering in residential areas. This all sounds like very first world problems. The animal group's population has grown to a point that now requires the city's intervention. A series of complaints from homeowners dealing with wild animals in both private and public spaces, predominantly about the noise, led to the installation of these signs. But where these feral chickens came from remains a bit of a mystery. Okay, first of all, hey,
when God gives you
that's exactly
chickens.
what I was thinking. Like, if you pray for food, don't be upset if your hut is overfilled with honey. What is that?
That's right. That's right. Like, don't complain if God fills your shelter with honey.
That's right.
Now, it might be sticky, so build a new shelter.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Chickens running around late. Hey, you're gonna be wanting those chickens because if things hit the fan, like, there's no more ships coming out to the island.
Exactly. Kelly says, how has nobody eaten these chickens?
Right, and then, like, what? Just get the eggs. I don't know. So I'm just saying.
It's a bit of a complicated matter because legally, people in residentially zoned areas can own chickens. They can have 2 chickens on their property, Sirota said. More than likely, it was the domesticated chickens that got loose and just started procreating. With the strong presence of domestic chicken owners in the area, addressing the feral population has been a hurdle. There's a bit of a split in public opinion on it. Sirota, some people don't mind them and actually like the feral chickens, and others will complain about the noise and the nuisance that they have. Will y'all just hush and let the chickens be? Ash's antics. What's up? Good to see you.
That is a total Karen move. I'm sorry. If you're going to complain, like, there's an animal that exists and I hear it in my space and that upsets me.
Oh my gosh, get over it.
Anyway.
You know what I mean? You pray for food and rabbits show up. Don't complain about the rabbits. You know what I mean? Chickens show up. Don't complain about the chickens. Not that they're the ones praying, but I hope y'all get what I mean.
I've never heard of feral chickens.
Birdie boy, right. What's up, dude?
That's right.
Brofist, man. Anyway, y'all.
And then also, look, y'all got, like, doesn't Hawaii have, you know, some dangerous predators? I could be wrong on that, because with it being an island and all
What
that.
I can tell you is, after watching some hunting expeditions on, like, survival challenges in Hawaii, Fowler's Makery and Mischief is a YouTube channel. Dude makes movies. He makes really good content. But he does these, like, hunting, fishing challenges where he will not eat unless he catches it. Right. Or hunts it.
Right.
And he did it in Hawaii, and it was like 2 episodes of like an hour long, where he was going after goats and chickens.
Yeah, and pig. I know they got pig.
And the Hawaiian landscape, their rural areas, is treacherous.
Yeah,
it's treacherous. It's full of like lava rock and ain't easy to walk on.
Yep.
And there's like thorns and stuff. It's hardcore.
Oh yeah, huge thorns.
And it was difficult.
Yeah, I bet. I still want to go, but we can't because it'll sink.
A North Dakota city attracted a corn mill. Then came questions about its Chinese owners.
That's right.
For years, the leaders of Grand Forks, ding, 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 had their eyes on a patch of cropland north of town. not far from a pasta-making facility, a potato processor, and a state-owned flour mill where farmers received top dollar for their wheat. That muddy field they thought would be the perfect place for another agriculture business. So when Fufeng USA, the American subsidiary of a Chinese company that makes components for animal feed, announced last year that it wanted to build a corn mill in that field, officials in Grand Forks celebrated. The mill, they said, would bring as many as 1,000 construction jobs and more than 200 permanent jobs to the city. Gov. Doug Burgum, a Republican, described it as a huge opportunity for all of North Dakota. But what local politicians lauded as an unambiguous win soon divided Grand Forks. Some residents were excited by the prospect of more jobs and investment, but the company's ties to China turned others against the project. Anti-Fufeng signs, including hammer and sickle flags, popped up in yards. Well, yeah, I mean, it's only right. So, the people that own the company at the tip top, they also have hammer and sickle signs. Okay.
That's right.
They come from the Communist Chinese Party. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anywho.
City council meetings that used to focus on road design and utility contracts suddenly turned into fiery discussions about communism and spying. Within a few months, the debate had reached Capitol Hill, and Grand Forks, population 59,000, had revealed just how mistrustful and dysfunctional America's relationship with China has become. For decades, the large flows of money and merchandise between the two nations made it the world's most important economic partnership, even as the United States pressed China to improve its human rights record. The attitudes toward China have turned sharply negative as politicians from both parties have increasingly portrayed the country as a threat. And as the pandemic helped fuel a rise in anti-Asian racism and highlighted Beijing's embrace of a tougher
authoritarianism.
Thank you. The backlash in Grand Forks reflects the rising animosity and the tough questions the United States faces as it tries to reconcile public sentiment with an economy reality. Americans buy more goods from China than they do from any other country. China is a top destination for U.S. exports, and many Chinese firms have operations in the United States. Trying to unwind that relationship could mean higher prices and slower growth. In Grand Forks, city leaders who welcomed investments as a tumultuous economic moment grappled with how the city's desire to spur more growth fit into the context of geopolitical trends.
I think what you've seen, at least recently, is a large push away from globalization, said Mayor Brandon Bochinsky, a first-term Republican who supports the new mill, and added that it would be Grand Forks' largest economic development effort in recent history. He asked, "Are we going to be the first one to basically say no to globalism?"
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be great, wouldn't it, guys?
Dare you.
Do what?
Say no to globalism.
Water police. This is another LA article. Water police patrol drought hit Los Angeles streets. Damon Ayala patrols the streets of, can you say that better? Ayala? I can't.
Ayala.
Of drought-stricken Los Angeles every day, inspecting the sidewalks. Each time he sees a puddle, he stops. He is part of the city's Department of Water and Power team, which looks into hundreds of community complaints filed by neighbors each week about water waste. Nosy ass. See, this. Why do I have to sound crazy about wanting a secluded cabin? You know what I mean? I mean, how is that crazy? I mean, because neighbors sometimes ain't worth having. You know what I mean?
But that's not a Christian way to be.
No, I mean, I want to be a good neighbor, and I want good neighbors.
And if you can't be a good neighbor, the Bible says if your tongue causes you to sin, cut it off. If you can't be a good neighbor, move away from neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, it's not extreme, but it's something that we want them to take a look at. He says of one pool of water. Looks like they have drip irrigation on the side, so there might be just a broken connector. Patrol comes as California and the western United States are in the grip of a severe years-long drought. Scientists say global warming driven by human activity, including the unchecked burning of fossil fuels, is creating a greater number of extreme events. They just needed to fit that in there to help the program because the scientists say.
We're definitely...
So they know that faith exists and they want you to put your faith somewhere, and somewhere is right here with the scientists.
We're doing this. We're causing these extreme events, but we're doing it because you're doing this. And if you could stop doing this, this would stop. So in a way, they're right.
This is, with reservoirs and rivers at historic lows, Los Angeles authorities have brought in water restrictions such as limiting lawn irrigation to as little as 8 minutes twice per week. Guys, if you live somewhere, I don't care how good the weather is, I don't care what the temperature is, and they start to regulate the usage of your water.
Oh, yeah.
You need freedom, and you don't realize it.
I remember when I went out to Utah one time, Miss Rada they were under a water ban. And you could only run water certain days of the week. And so because of that, she loved her plants, and so she would use her old bath water. She would and take her bath water to go and water her plants. Anyway, that's weird. That's super, and I get it in the sense that we have to conserve, but that's super hyper controlled. I don't like that. So what's next? Air. Excuse me, our oxygen levels are low. You're going to have to control the days that you breathe deeply. Right.
Hack the pump. Rising prices lead to more reports of gas theft, which I read through most of this. Okay. The most common tactics aren't technologically sophisticated, and some of the tools used to hack pumps are easily available online. So I scrolled through all of this. The first exploits, the fact that many Wayne fuel dispensers have a remote control option to allow station owners and fuel inspectors to easily access them. Those remotes are not regulated, though, and NBC News found many of them for sale online on places including eBay. eBay did not immediately respond to a request for comment. While Wayne's gas dispensers require remote users to enter a key code to access its controls, many station owners never change it from the default setting. Okay. And this is all to say that pretty much they're saying most of the systems that pump gas in this country are highly standardized. So you can go just about anywhere in the country, and it's going to be just about the same tech no matter where you go.
Right.
John Clark, a police officer at the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, North Division in North Carolina, said a suspect he arrested in March used a remote control to access a Wayne pump at Charlotte gas station, then sold the gas. The suspect, who is still awaiting trial, put the pump into a setting designed for technicians to test gas, which allows them to dispense fuel without payment. You can just pump as much as you want. The easy solution to prevent this from happening is to change that code when pumps are installed, but for whatever reason, whether apathy or lack of knowledge, some of these owners aren't. It's illegal, obviously, but it's a good deal for them, Clark said. He's making money selling gas at zero expense to himself. The second method, often used against Gilbarco pumps, tricks a gas pump into dispensing far more gas than it tracks. Gas pumps rely on a device called a pulser to measure how much gas comes out of a pump, telling it how much to charge a customer. Thieves use homemade devices, which can be made from a handful of parts from a hardware store, to slow the pulser, so it registers only a fraction of the gas it dispenses. A thief still needs to open up a gas pump panel to install a pulser manipulator, but many Gilbarco cabinets use a standardized key. NBC News found such keys were also widely available for sale online.
Wow.
Okay. While gas thieves often sell to regular people at a discount, they tend to steal more from independently owned stores. Such stores tend to have only a handful of employees working at a time, unlike major chains that can employ security staff and better surveillance equipment.
Right.
Oh, bull crap.
No,
okay.
That's true.
No, I know it's true, but they don't. So, they might... The only time you're not going to see security staff. I mean, I don't know about you guys or where you live, but down here, gas stations don't have security staff. I mean,
right.
The local cops
They
in different
hire-
towns have a favorite gas
Yeah.
station they like to sit at. Sometimes it's Racetrack. Sometimes it's the Circle K. Okay.
They either hire like big chicks that are like not worried about taking care of themselves, or threatening looking dudes for the overnights. What's up, Craig?
Craig the Hunter, dude. Bro Fist, good to see you. Amber, what's up? Good to see you. Let's see. Thank you so much, Independent Mini, for sharing the link. And thank you so much to all my mods for the services that you guys provide, sharing links, and just hanging out with us. We really appreciate you guys. What do you guys think about gas thieves? I mean,
well,
back in the
not
day,
shocking.
it was a lot easier. You could just pull up, pump, and not go inside.
You know, I remember...
But because we switched to the digital money...
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's not digital, it's a representation of... No,
I remember,
it's digital.
look, I remember one time when I first learned how to drive, because it was something like 30 miles from where I lived on the Air Force Base down to my high school. And so there was this little town in between, just a very, like, literally it was like 5 trailer parks and a barber station and a gas station. And anyway, I would stop at this gas station and pump. And one day I filled my whole tank up, but I was on the phone not paying attention. I drove off without paying. And I didn't realize. Anyway, I realized later in the day, and I called them and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought that the police were going to be after me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm over. I'm going to jail now. This is so sad. I'm so young. And anyway, I called them and I was like, I'm so sorry. Can I please come pay you? And they're like, oh yeah. They're like, we knew our numbers were off. Thanks for calling. Like, that was it. They didn't have nothing. They didn't
Good on you.
Well, but I'm just saying, that's what you're supposed to do.
As AI language skills grow, so do scientists' concerns.
Yeah.
Okay. A coalition of AI researchers is launching an open access language model meant to bring some transparency to a relatively secret technology.
What if they go from 1-0 to like 4-5 or 7-8? I don't know.
The tech industry's latest artificial intelligence constructs can be pretty convincing if you ask them what it feels like to be a sentient computer, or maybe just a dinosaur or a squirrel. But they're not so good and sometimes dangerously bad at handling other seemingly straightforward tasks. Take, for instance, GPT-3, a Microsoft-controlled system that can generate paragraphs of human-like text based on what it's learned from a vast database of digital books and online writings. It's considered one of the most advanced of a new generation of AI algorithms that can converse, generate readable text on demand, and even produce novel images and video. Among other things, GPT-3 can write up most any text you ask for, a cover letter for a zookeeping job, say, or Shakespearean-style sonnet set of on Mars. Sorry, babe.
No.
But the Pomona College professor Gary Smith asked it a simple but nonsensical question about walking upstairs. GPT-3 muffled it. Yes, it is safe to walk upstairs on your hands if you wash them first, the AI replied. These powerful and power-chugging AI systems, technically known as large language models because they've been trained on a huge body of text and other media, are already getting baked into customer service chatbots, Google searches, and autocomplete email features that finish your sentence for you. But most of the tech companies that built them have been secretive about their inner workings, making it hard for outsiders to understand the flaws that can make them a source of misinformation, racism, and other harms. They're very good at writing text with proficiency of human beings, said Tevan Lescao. Sorry, these names, man. A researcher engineer at the AI startup Hugging Face. Dude, alien face hugger, hello?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Something they're not very good at is being factual. It looks very coherent. It's almost true, but it's often wrong.
Okay, hold on, stop. You mean like half truths? So like racism is in like, because they're gonna state statistics, right? And so that's, if they say something's just based on numbers alone, statistics without any biases, then that could make them sound racism or misinformation. So like if they said that 1-6 was not a, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like if they go against the fact checkers, they're like, oh no, it's a misinformation pot. What have we done?
That's one reason a coalition of AI researchers co-led by Lascaux, with help from the French government, launched a new large language model Tuesday that's supposed to serve as an antidote to closed systems such as GPT-3.
Okay, I've lost interest.
Okay.
They talk good. Hold on. The whole article was written by AI. Hilarious, Mojave. Hilarious.
What?
The whole Mojave says this whole article was written by AI.
Yeah.
Probably was. No, I think they're worried about AI language skills because what if they learn and they create a new language that they can talk to each other and we then don't understand? And they're not going to tell us.
Oh, who tells you they're not already doing that? It's not just Lascaux's group.
No, that doesn't mean I'm more interested again.
Launched a new language model Tuesday that's supposed to serve as an antidote to closed systems such as GPT-3. The group is called Big Science, and their model is Bloom. For the Big Science Large Open Science Open Access Multi-Language Model, its main breakthrough is that it works across 46 languages, including Arabic, Spanish, and French, unlike most systems that are focused on English or Chinese. It's not just Lascaux's group aiming to open up the black box of AI language models. Big tech companies Meta, the parent of Facebook and Instagram, is also calling for a more open approach as it tries to catch up to the systems built by Google and OpenAI.
It does make me think of the Georgia Guidestone's one living language.
Right, that's exactly what I started to think. Competitive pressure to build the most eloquent or informative system and profit from its applications is one of the reasons that most tech companies keep a tight lid on them and don't collaborate on community norms, said Percy Liang, an associate computer science professor at Stanford who directs Center of Research on Foundation Models. For some companies, this is their secret sauce, but they are often also worried that losing control could lead to irresponsible uses, as AI systems are increasingly able to write health advice websites, high school term papers, or political screeds. I don't know what that. And misinformation can proliferate, and it will get harder to know what's coming from a human or a computer.
That's right. Well, interesting.
Yeah, we can read more into that. Housing boom fades worldwide as interest rates climb.
Boom.
All right. Prices are falling in some places, raising the risk of market routes and adding to central banks' challenges. Let's see here. The froth is off. Canadian houses now selling at $200K discounts.
Hey, you mean normal prices?
Or somewhere about normal
That's
prices.
right.
The plunge is merely a correction of a Canadian real estate market that has long operated beyond any reasonable notion. Crap. Messing everything up. Of economic fundamentals. I just wanted to go over that. Housing market may be coming back down or popping. I don't know.
Right.
Looks like it's just coming back down. Up in arms. Gun control advocates angry over Good Samaritan in mall shooting. The antis are crying foul because the good guy with a gun who ended a shooting with his carry gun is being called a Good Samaritan. I think this story gives the antis PTSD or something. No, not again. Because it's, Kyle.
Yeah, it definitely was not the way that they were planning it.
If you didn't know, Indiana shopping mall shooter shot dead by armed Good Samaritan, police say.
But of course.
3 killed, shooter and Good Samaritan identified in Greenwood Park Mall mass shooting. Those killed are 56-year-old Pedro Pineda, his wife 37-year-old Rosa Rivera de Pineda, and 30-year-old Victor Gomez. Police are investigating a shooting that happened around 6 p.m. Sunday. 4 people are dead, and police tell 13 the shooter is among those killed. Okay. I had a lot of articles on this. Armed Good Samaritan stopped Indiana mall shooting, broke mall rules. Funny that they have to mention that.
Right.
Okay? Because I believe in this state and in different states, not all states, those no gun signs are not backed by law.
Right.
They're simply suggestive. Okay?
Exactly.
Where, and apparently in this situation in Indiana, the law is that if you are old enough and legal enough to carry a gun, to own a gun, you can carry it. You don't need a permit because of constitutional carry. Okay? And, I actually think that it's bad news in my state, Louisiana, where a no gun sign is backed by law.
That's right.
It's backed up by law. So it's like, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not saying what I do. I'm just saying a lot of folks potentially don't follow those suggestive. Now, in states like Indiana, where it is legal to carry beyond the no carry sign, if they catch you with a gun, they can still be like, hey, you got to get out of here, trespass you. Then that's illegal. Then you have to leave.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I can't believe they had to call this one. They tried to bury this one, in my opinion, real quick, because it was up first thing this morning on Newsbreak, and then it quickly got replaced, and now it's like, wait, I had to search for it to find it. But I can't. Were they really trying to take that angle? Oh, they broke mall rules. Are you saying that you would have preferred that the shooter
a
be
lot of
left
leftists
unchecked?
especially on Twitter, they're like mad that
right.
Oh, look at this right here. Sad that the chief did not mention the blatant disregard for the mall rules, though. You disgust me. I mean, on some level, that is vile. Look at this. Listen to what the chief has to say.
I did watch the video, the surveillance video, which captured pretty much the entire incident. I will say his actions were nothing short of heroic. He engaged the gunman from quite a distance with a handgun, was very proficient in that, very tactically sound, and as he moved to close in on the suspect, he was also motioning for people to exit behind him. He has, to our knowledge, he has no police training and no military background. As you watch that, I did watch the video.
Heroic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Call it what it is. Okay.
That's right.
Let's see. Greenwood
Didn't
Police
look
Chief.
like your guy either. Looked like Kyle Rittenhouse too. Just a regular. Well, I think he even goes on to say like the guy had no training, but he was proficient. 40 yards.
Yeah, it says that he made the shot at 40 yards.
That's him.
This is him. Who was the shooter? What was his background? Come on, folks, calm down. Thank the Lord this guy was there, because this gives me hope that if my family is at the mall and I'm not there,
right?
You know what I mean? That they just hate it. They really do. They hate it. The left, that is. The silent Chad protecting from the shadows. What a legend.
Right.
What a legend. Yeah, so the left's super upset with this guy.
Well, good on you. To you, I say good on you.
Yes, cheers. Good to you, man. Bully.
Yeah,
you know?
Bully to you.
This is all you need to know. They are furious that the mass murder was stopped by a civilian with a gun because it destroys their narrative and hurts the fundraising.
Right.
That's
Why does anyone need a gun? Oh,
that's the truth.
Crap.
Okay. They wish the body count was higher. They wanted everyone, and you're like, how could you say that? I can say that because they just put an assault weapons ban out. Who gains from this?
Right.
Think about who gains from this. Right. I'd go so far as to they were hoping for something like this to happen after they just did this HR 1808. And if you want to find out more about that, check out is that my Rainy?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all leave my Rainy alone. Anyway, you have to go check out my community tab section where I posted a YouTuber who covers HR 1808. This dude does all kinds of 2A, Second Amendment, information. He's straight to the point. He doesn't have any bull crap. It's just pure information.
That's right.
And I even left a link to the bill if you want to go check it out on our community section here on YouTube.
Oh yeah, 40 yards is awesome with the pistol. That is excellent.
Oh, that and actually take note, guys, that you see impressive shooting like this from many good Samaritans.
That's right.
Okay, go and review the footage of the church shooting from, I think it was Texas, where the head of security, he one shot domed that guy. There was an active shooter in a church. He got like one shot off, and it hurt 3 people. And this I think it was the head of security was carrying in church, and he pulls his gun out, one shot, and it was like all the way across the church, and he nailed that dude, one shot.
What's the dude's name? The guy that did it?
I forgot that guy's name.
Go back. Can you look at that article? What was it? Hold on. There it is. Eli. So you could call him Eli. So like he was shooting like Book of Eli style. I'm just saying, like
the Lord guided that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like this is a modern day David and Goliath, in my opinion.
I mean,
David brought 5 stones, but he only needed the one. So.
Right. David brought the concealed carry pistol,
That's right.
And you got your dude over here with an AR-15. You know how many absolute operators I've heard say, like, I'm talking about hardcore vets being like, I don't want to go up against a guy with an AR-15 with a pistol.
Right.
I've heard so many hardcore operators. And what did this 22-year-old do?
That's right.
Thank you, Eli, bro fist to you, dude.
That's right.
And man, I mean, y'all.
Right. That's right. One shot, one kill. That's right. That's how it was in that church, too.
Liberals when a 22-year-old stops a shooter from killing countless innocents, but he ignored the no gun sign on the door.
Hilarious. Oh, my goodness. That's my favorite meme.
Unamused.
Yes.
We can no longer use this tragedy.
That's unfortunate.
That's how they see this.
You've made all these people die for nothing.
That's how they see this.
Oh,
Doom break.
Do not do it. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel! Don't do it. I'm trying to educate people right now, okay? Inches tall. Emmanuel, every time. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel, don't choose violence today. Please, every day we go through this. Gosh, it's never ending.
Animals like the deer don't really care for it. They're usually up in the barn. Emmanuel.
I like Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Please stop, okay?
Watch your eyeballs, girl.
He will peck your face.
Emmanuel is unchecked.
I love Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, do not do it. Emmanuel, don't do it.
I love her. She cracks me up.
I want, guys, y'all got to help me out, man. I want an emu.
No,
I want an emu.
They are modern day velociraptors.
I want an emu.
Not have it.
Man.
They don't give milk or nothing.
Back in my day, we ate ice cream out of a toilet paper roll and didn't complain. Who feels me?
Oh my gosh.
Who
I never
remembers
loved
the struggle?
And I always got irritated when that cardboard got soggy and gross. I didn't like them for that very reason. Put the camera where the giant turkey can't reach. That's right.
Yeah. Birdie no light camera.
That's right. Emmanuel needs time out to his quiet space. That's right. That's right.
Oh, man.
Emmanuel's a little edgy. Meow.
Wait. Come on, you. So wait, what's going on here?
She has
left her window down.
Yeah, left her window down, gone out to her car, and there's a whole bunch of wildcats in there. I love it. That one didn't make it. I was like, roll up the window, you can catch one. I love cats. Y'all
Hurry,
know,
roll up the window.
I really want a cat. I think if you could just give it a minute to calm down and give it lots of love, it would be not spastic.
It would not be spastic.
It would not be spastic.
Yes, it would.
No.
It would. It would. 5 Bible verses for overcoming fear and anxiety. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous fall. Psalm 55:22. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4. We can confidently say, the Lord is my helper. I will not fear. What can man do to me? Hebrews 13:6. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God himself will fight for you. Deuteronomy 3:22.
That gets me.
That one gets me. But when I close a door, so this one is, God says, nothing can stop my plan for your life. But when I close a door, there is nothing that can open it. When I open a door, there is nothing that can close it. Just trust my will. Comment amen if you agree. If I say I could eat, we've got about 32 minutes tops before I am flat out a different person.
That's right. I could eat. If I say I could eat, we got about 32 minutes tops. Mm-hmm.
We got that is me.
You want a cat? Look to your left. There's a cat there. Nuh-uh.
Where's?
Where? Are you the cat?
I could be.
You're not very cat looking.
Meow.
You must be one of them Maine Coons. I was wanting a little kitten.
Doing teletherapy from your childhood home is kind of like reporting to you live from the scene of the accident. I thought that was hilarious. Take the cat. Love him. Rub him. Call him George.
It's okay, George.
My name is Jorge.
That's it. If we get a cat, its name is George.
Jorge.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
He's gonna be like, I want to name it Katrina or something. No, his name is Jorge.
When my therapist made a good point, but I'm not ready to admit it.
I'm still laughing over the reporting to you live from the scene of the accident.
Doing television. Oh, not funny. I mean, I guess it's funny if you look at it in the right light. Let's see how loud.
We want to base our treatment and to affirm and to support and empower these youth, not to limit their participation in activities and sports, and even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
So hold up. Biden's Secretary of Health says they want to empower kids to get puberty blockers and surgery. Oh, and they still want to let biological boys into girls' sports. Tell me there's not a spiritual attack against the innocence of our kids. And Joe and his comrades are leading the charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Leave our kids alone.
Leave our children alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What do you think about that? This thing's voice is so demonic. I can't. Let's see. Protect your children. They're coming. Sickening. Anyhoozle. Check this out.
From the mouths of babes.
So sorry.
Oh my goodness.
On the air. He's coming.
That little girl
the
was
King's
Lily. She
Abba
woke
up.
her parents up in the middle of the night and she was saying, something's coming, something's coming. She kept saying, he's coming, Abba, push you up. Abba is the Hebrew word for father. The next day she brought it up again and said, Mama, open up because God's coming. And then she bowed 3 times. Joel chapter 2 verse 28 says, your sons and your daughters will prophesy. So share this with someone and let them know that Jesus is coming soon.
Oh my gosh.
That little girl is Lily, and she woke her parents up in the middle of the night and she was saying, something's coming, something's coming. She kept saying, he's coming, Abba, push you up. Abba is the Hebrew word for father. The next day she brought it up again and said, Mama, open up because God's coming. And then she bowed 3 times. Joel chapter 2 verse 28 says, your sons and your daughters will prophesy. So share this with someone and let them know that Jesus is coming soon.
Little bit of hope. Little bit of hope. Little bit of hope.
Mouths of babes. Okay, and then right out of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't, these aren't highly organized. You know what I mean? This kind of gets put together
responsible.
slowly as I see it. So, let's see.
My black kid is in the car. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front of my kids. He tried to kill me in front.
Y'all, this video irks me. This guy right here shot into this woman's apartment while she was there with her kids, and in a 6-hour standoff with law enforcement got killed by police. Now all these protesters are outside marching and rallying for him outside her apartment building. So all because this guy happens to be black, we gotta go march and rally for him even though he could have killed a single mother and her children? Think about how simple you have to be thinking that just because he has black skin, some people think that he needs to be defended. You play stupid, dangerous games, you win stupid, dangerous prizes. And this woman has a black child! And they're here all in the name of what? Black Lives Matter, apparently? I don't know how much more evidence anybody needs to know that this woke stuff is garbage.
What?
Truth.
That's right.
Truth.
That's right.
Okay. You want to hear it again?
No.
A wind power turbine just collapsed in Sweden. People are being warned to keep their distance because it is now leaking oil everywhere. Wait, these green wind turbines use oil? Green lie exposed again. Yep. Oh no. Okay.
All right, hold on. I was thinking about this the other day, okay? Because I was like, why would somebody want that? But then it's like, and I'm not trying to be hateful or nothing, but think about being a young man with self-esteem issues or something. You know what I mean? Like if you're already uncomfortable in the dating scene, imagine adding to it the fact that like, hey, that chick you like might not used to have been a chick. You know what I mean? Like, at least the robot will never have had a penis. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm just saying, I like, again, I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying, like, crap, we're in a pickle now, eh? All right, go ahead. Looks just like her.
Independent Minnie, I'm telling you, God is at work in young children. Amen. Let's see. My 5-year-old randomly came up to me last night and said, God speaks in ways we can't hear, but we can feel.
Yeah, for real. Look, Abby comes in every now and then, and she's like, Dad, can you just record me? And he'll turn on the camera, and she'll be like, listen, guys, you need to hear Jesus, because he is like, and she will just go into a full, I'm talking 20-minute sermon about, you know, the truth of Jesus and you know, his forgiveness, and it's amazing. It makes me very happy.
It is.
Indeed, that is awesome. You're good mama moment.
Amen.
You know.
I was gonna try and show her video, but
yeah.
Our trans prisoner has been moved to a different prison after getting 2 fellow inmates pregnant. Which I'm sure you guys saw this, because I saw this it's been in the reporting. You know, it's like, you know, 2 or 3 days, and I was just like sick. I was like, gross, man. I'm not about to bring that into the show, but here it is.
Here we are.
British father, 29, who walked out on family for a Ukrainian is broke. I don't know what broke has to do with it, but hold up. You know, walked out on your family. What?
Well, you know, some people really want to support Ukraine.
Okay.
No, not ballet.
Woke dance school drops ballet from auditions as it is white and elitist.
It's culture.
For white elitists.
That's a culture.
Well, you can't have it. Yeah.
I mean, it's...
No, seriously, I saw another... it's not even a meme. It's just where someone takes a screenshot of what someone said on Twitter and someone takes another screenshot of the reply. And side by side, it was this dude and who was a black dude, and he was like, one cannot simply break down the Beethoven music algorithm to someone who listens to trap music, and expect them to understand the vibe.
Right.
And this like liberal looking like skinny dude with glasses, like round glasses, was like, "Hi, how's your day? It's really not good for you to be exclusive to people who only listen to trap music and to promote Beethoven, white elitist classical music. It's it's just, you got to find it. I don't know."
Jeez Louise. Look, I'm not saying I did ballet for.
But hold up, he's basically calling the dude who texted, the dude who tweeted, racist, but he's black, for liking Beethoven stuff. Oh, you're doing too well. You need to, I just don't know why. What is going on with the left, folks? And we're just going to have to go ahead and give them their own space. They need a space. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just saying, you would think, look, this is a lot of pain and agony behind these beautiful little figurines,
Those are some hurting toes.
Those are some, I'm not joking, those are some hurting toes. Those are possibly some hungry bellies, But the point of it is, look, ballet is not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate that it has, beauty and value, and shouldn't be dismissed.
Fresh off her comment equating Hispanic Americans with breakfast tacos, Dr. Jill Biden is now whining that her husband's catastrophic presidency is filled with crisis after crisis. Then why don't y'all just stop?
What is that brooch? Is that an eyeball? No, surely not.
Certainly is triangular.
Is it though?
Kind of.
Kind of.
No, you're right. It's not. It's technically like a rhombus or something. I saw this. This was so perfect. This is so perfect. I mean, he's basically there asking for gas. Let them have California. Just let me out first. I heard that. I mean.
Well, come on now, Kelly.
Yeah, but I mean, even the they say that they love LA. They say they love Cali, but it's kind of they're making it impossible to live there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, unless you're going to be a good little,
Twerking is the new ballet. I don't know. I thought twerking was a new weapon because, like, girls twerk on things that they're angry at. Like,
girls, they try to twerk to get voted. They try, I mean...
Those girls were twerking that one old man's vehicle at the parade like it was going to, like, disintegrate the car or something. And then those girls at the Belfries, they were twerking on that plastic shield right before it came down. I'm just saying, I think it's just, I don't know, twerking.
Just saying, only the Latinas are breakfast tacos. The males are taquitos.
Terrible.
So he's wearing a face mask indoors, and he expects you to as well.
Nah.
Kids no longer able to sneak into 18 rated films as cinemas introduce digital ID app. The Yodi app allows young people to verify their age without handing over other personal information and is being trialed by the home office at supermarket checkouts.
Right. So whatever.
Go ahead.
If this is the trial, what's the real goal that they're wanting to use it on? You got to use it for something good at first.
So, like, just so, I mean, I don't know. I guess, are folks going to have to start saying it? Twerking is not, like, attractive. It's actually a little bit, like...
I would be intimidated.
It's not intimidated. It's more like it's immediate, rigorous gyrating out of nowhere.
Right.
Oh, let me... you know what I mean? Like, something's taking over me. I got to start wiggling and shaking. You know what I mean? It's not attractive. It looks like you might need medication you didn't have for a while. And you now need help. Do you need something to bite down on?
Are you maybe on medication that you perhaps took too much of or not enough of? Like...
Recently?
Right.
That's a hilarious name. Christian Wilkins courts attention in a bright patterned top and miniskirt as he parties in LA after slamming idiots who have a problem with him wearing a dress. Dude.
I don't understand. I don't know this
Dude.
person. So. We have 18 months to save human race.
Prince Charles. Yeah. We have 18 months to save the human race. July 2019.
Oh. Oh.
Prince of Wales speaks out about climate change at gathering of Commonwealth leaders.
Whew.
Seeing double. Woman 23, tired of her boyfriend's high libido, buys a you-know-what doll that looks exactly like her, and both claim it's reignited their passion.
It doesn't look exactly like her, okay? I think we can all see a difference. All right.
Oh, man, where are we going, guys? Where are we going? Seriously, let's stop the crazy train, okay? We weren't supposed to put on Ozzy and then just let the whole thing go off the tracks, guys.
It does quite resemble her, but the facial structure is a little bit, and then, of course, the one...
No, man, it's terrifying. It's not human, man. Look at the fingers. It's all messed up, dude.
I know, but if the light was out...
Look at the fingers. Okay? It reminds me of like a xenomorph or something. It's just creepy.
I don't think the whole kissing the robot while she's... I don't know, that's weird. It's uncomfortable.
A mess in a dress. That's right, Dave. Dude, what's up? Gross. Gross, dude. You played yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Now, what's going to happen like in 20 years when she looks much older?
This is a 3D representation of what I looked like at 23.
That's right.
Which this girl did not look 23.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
And what do they breathe out?
Air.
Oxygen, right? So if a tree is breathing in carbon dioxide, CO2.
You can tell the dude is. I would have said the D. This dude is a jike. You can tell he's a scumbag, because of he's asking the kids to answer and they say air, okay, which isn't necessarily wrong. He's like, oxygen,
Carbon dioxide.
And what do they breathe out?
Air.
Oxygen.
No, oxygen.
That's right.
Because I just learned. They just taught me. My handlers told me all about this. They wouldn't let me out of my car until I could repeat everything correctly. Because of how bad things are going with old Bo Jiden over there. Okay.
This haircut is giving me so much grief, you guys.
Right? So if a tree is breathing in carbon dioxide, CO2, right, and breathes out oxygen, O2, what's...
Look, that's exactly right. Quiet girl.
Right?
And look at that Castro Jr., bro. Cash Trudeau Jr.
Are you allowed to ask hey, when we elected you, you didn't look so much like your dad, but now that you do, we would maybe
yeah.
And Mari's dead, so I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean the haircut. Your Castro is really showing, dude. Okay.
Breathes out oxygen, O2. What's the C? The C is carbon, which is actually captured by the tree. A lot of the mass of a tree comes from carbon. That's why it's so important to prevent climate change, to keep planting trees, which is what we're going to do by planting 2 billion trees. But all the adults now, you now know where the mass of a tree comes from. It comes from the air. CO2 in, O2 out. The C accumulates into this beautiful forest around, and that's why we call them, and us, by the way, carbon-based life forms.
Because you're a scientist now, not a politician, correct?
I was like, I think we found his calling. Look at how well he does as a...
I mean, what are you, a teacher, scientist, politician? Come on, dude.
Super relatable guy. Super relatable.
I like it a lot.
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 That's funny. I'm going to be doing that all night now. Oh, yes. I've been so excited to see this. Yeah, look, Shiloh knows what's up. She's like, Mom, that's gross.
Right, it is gross.
We're not in Africa right now, okay? I can understand when we're there, but you said that I wouldn't have to do this here. Is that Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, she sits down in a video, which you can find real easy, where she eats a 4-course... Don't watch the video. You can go watch it if you want, but it's disgusting. Okay?
Her eyes say, ugh, I can't wait for this.
It makes her look like a witch that's playing dress up, okay? I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to sound so hateful, okay? And it's not hate, okay? It's brainwashing that I'm trying to expose y'all. This is brainwashing.
I'm just saying.
Cinnamon, that's right. This is just them trying to normalize, program, whatever you want to call it. The more children that see this, the more normal they're going to think it is because there's
Right.
That's just how it is.
I believe so much in the mission of Beyond Meat that I've stepped in to help with my greatest asset, my taste.
That's
her
your
greatest asset. Okay. Her
Really?
taste,
Your
y'all.
waistline does not say you taste a lot.
Well, I don't think she was even referring to mouth taste. I think she's referring to her taste in
Oh, okay, because she has good taste.
Plant-based meat
plant-based meat.
with my greatest asset, my taste. This plant-based meat is not only amazingly delicious, but it's also better for you and better for the planet. It's a simple change that makes a really big difference. So good. And now that I'm...
It's so fake, as if it's that good. You think I'm buying that? I'm not buying it. I don't buy it.
Is it made of bugs?
I don't even like your background or your hair.
I like her hair, I'm not gonna lie. But it's creepy. She looks very dystopic. Like time, isn't she like 40-something or about to be 40-something?
I don't know, but you're not fooling me.
Madonna is like 60. Okay, look up a current picture of Madonna. Like, it scares you. Okay, and then think about being a kid and your grandma was probably 60, and then think about some of the like outfits that Madonna wears, and she like touches herself on stage and stuff, trying to be hot. Okay, and that's a grandma. That's somebody's grandma. Just saying. All right, hold on.
You told me to look up Madonna.
Yeah. Okay. That's terrible.
Okay.
Shame on you.
I'll look up again.
For shame on you.
There she is.
No, that's still an older one. That one right there. Up. No, up. Go up.
I told you I'm a witch. Which one?
Well, yeah, okay. Listen, the point is, this chick is 60, okay? That's not what 60-year-olds look like.
Tales from the Crypt. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. My millennial is showing. Yeah. They see, look, you just remove the skin, you add a couple more years, okay? And you got Tales from the Crypt. Okay?
I see your point. I would just argue this is not the time or the place. Oh, well. Anyway.
You gotta find the pictures where she had her lack of adrenochrome.
Well, I think
you're not supposed to say that. Ooh.
Anyway, continue.
Beyond Meat's chief taste consultant, there's never been a better time to go beyond.
Well, anywhoozle. To go beyond.
Beyond Meat.
Tell me, look at these acting skills.
And now that I'm Beyond Meat's chief taste consultant, there's never been a better time to go beyond.
That's a lot of uncomfortable eye contact right there.
Looks like a robot just standing there, man.
Consultant, there's never...
Think about how hot I am right now.
That's disgusting.
Well, that's what she's looking at me like.
That's disgusting.
Why is it so intense right now? It's just food.
Well, look.
I'm a big girl.
I hope that
even
none
get
of these yahoos are influencing y'all. And watch out, because they're after the children, man. For real. Just like we've been saying. That's the truth. That's
right.
What's that? They really don't want folks to say groomers. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is just another kind of grooming, dude. This is just grooming.
Can we talk about this logo for just a second? First off, it's green. Okay. Second off, a bull with a cape, right? And so you know that the enemy will come as a hero, right? And often as a bull.
That's right.
Just saying.
Hey, that's good correlation.
Thank you.
Anyway, guys, that is our journey through the internet this time. Thank you so much for joining us on Unspecified Podcast on this unspecified evening in these unspecified times.
That's right.
Thank you for choosing us on this unspecified journey.
Have an unspecifically awesome evening.
Awesome Nail Tech. It's good to see you. Patriot Lady, good to see you. Dave the Mace, Brofist. Who let the bulls out, Brofist? I was just Brofisting, folks. What was worse, Kamala and the Moon Talk with paid children, or the Trudeau we just had to see? What which was worse? The Kamala is like pretty terribly. It's pretty terrible. It's not. But
was that where she was shooting the basketball?
No, but that was also pretty terrible.
Pretty terrible.
So I mean, oh man, where are we?
Equal.
Where are we? Anyway, guys, don't be despair. Don't be in despair. You know, be not dismayed.
That's right.
You know, because the Lord's got us. Rely on Him. Rely on Jesus. Seek the Father's presence. You know, and I pray for you guys as you guys go and do the things, getting ready for whatever's coming.
That's right.
Because intellectually, we all know something's up, something's coming.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm praying for you guys and your plans and your projects. And I'm praying the Holy Spirit is with you and guides you, just like I pray for the Holy Spirit to be with us and guide us.
That's right.
And, man, I love you guys, and thank you so much for joining us. I hate to bounce all the time. I would like to start doing different streams,
right.
But at the same time...
we got family coming in this week, so if we're a little off this week, bear with us. Things should.
That's right. So that I'm glad we talked about that in the beginning of the show. Now we're talking about, you know,
yeah.
That's a perfect way to bring it in. Is just, you know, we have family coming, and I didn't even think about how to tell y'all about that, you know, because it's so unspecified here. But please smash the like button, share us with some friends if you can. That would be so appreciative. YouTube has changed their algorithms. And not in a positive way for small creators.
That's right.
If you could subscribe or unsubscribe and resubscribe and smash the notification bell.
Yep.
If your notifications aren't working, I suggest to please try to hit that notification bell at least.
That's right.
And if you want to help us out, you could leave a like. It helps encourage us and let us know that hey, you know, you like it, and it helps us, you know, feel good about the effort we put forth. And anywho. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on another crazy evening, Unspecified Times. That's our report. We'll come back with you probably day after tomorrow.
Yeah, probably Wednesday.
Wednesday, probably. But we have company coming in town on Wednesday. Am I right about that?
Yes, you
okay.
are.
Because I know they're coming, but I'm not sure when.
Wednesday.
Anyway, guys, much love out there. Be safe. Keep your P's and Q's peeled, man. Be about your P's and Q's.
That's right.
Transitional spaces. You know what I mean? Love you
Be
guys.
kind.
Bro fist to all of you. And we'll see you guys on the next one.